Welcome to Mentor's Mindset. In this episode, we will be exploring verbal, mental, emotional, physical. Is there a kind of abuse hurts the most? If someone punched you in the face, people would notice. They'd ask questions, they'd offer help. But what if someone destroyed your self-worth, your identity, your mind without leaving a single bruise? Let's talk about something difficult, abuse. Not just the kind that breaks bones, but the kind that breaks you. Today we're asking a deep question: verbal, mental, emotional, or physical abuse. Which hurts more? It's not about comparison to invalidate, it's about compassion to understand, because some pain never shows on the outside, but it can echo for a lifetime. This includes any behaviors that frighten, intimidate, terrorize, manipulate, hurt, humiliate, blame, injure, or wound someone. Many forms of abuse are also criminal offenses and should be treated that way. Let's break it down. There are 4 main types we'll explore today: verbal, mental, emotional, or physical abuse. This is not an exhaustive list, as there are many more other forms of abuse. Physical abuse is any intentional act causing physical harm or pain. It's hitting, kicking, restraining, choking. It's violent, obvious, and often leaves visible scars. It's important to remember that physical abuse is any way of intentionally causing physical harm to an individual. It also includes making up the symptoms of an illness or causing an individual to become unwell. Verbal abuse uses language to hurt. It's yelling, threats, put-downs, name-calling, and shaming. But it doesn't stop there. According to some source, verbal abuse, also known as verbal aggression, verbal attack, verbal violence, verbal assault, psychic aggression, or psychic violence, is a type of psychological mental abuse that involves the use of oral or written language directed to a victim. One verbal abuse can include the act of harassing, labeling, insulting, scolding, rebuking, or excessive yelling towards an individual. Emotional abuse is manipulation. It's withholding affection, gaslighting, playing mind games. It's silence used as punishment. It makes the victim feel small, guilty, confused, and desperate for love they never get. Mental abuse attacks the way you think. It's psychological warfare. It makes you question your reality, your sanity. Over time, you start to believe the abuser more than yourself. According to WebMD, mental abuse is meant to undermine your self-esteem and make you feel worse about yourself. It is also a form of manipulation and control. The effects of mental abuse are just as detrimental as the effects of physical abuse. It is very difficult to not only recognize mental abuse, but to then have the courage to confront it.
I was in a relationship where he never hit me, not once. But he told me I was insane, that no one else would love me. After a while, I started believing him.
My mother screamed at me daily. She never touched me, but her words made me feel like I didn't deserve to exist.
I was beaten by my stepdad. But what hurt more was my mom watching and doing nothing. That silence, that destroyed me.
Every story is different, but one theme stays the same. Abuse changes people, sometimes quietly, sometimes permanently. Abuse in all its forms can have profound and lasting effects on a person's mental, emotional, and physical well-being, leading to changes in self-esteem, relationships, and overall functioning. Let's talk science. Abuse, no matter the type, affects the brain and nervous system. Here's what happens. Cortisol spikes, which is your stress hormone. The amygdala becomes hyperactive. That's your fear center. The hippocampus shrinks, which is your memory and learning zone, and over time, trauma becomes your default state. People living in abusive environments, especially verbal and emotional ones, often experience the same long-term effects as soldiers in war zones. That includes PTSD, depression, anxiety, sleep disorders, cognitive decline, and even physical illness. Because trauma lives in the body too. There are must-read books and journals for anyone affected by trauma. Some explains how the body literally remembers abuse, even if the mind tries to forget. You can research books on safeguarding, identifying, and escaping abuse and mental health. Here's the hardest part. Verbal, emotional, and mental abuse often get ignored because there are no bruises, no broken bones, no evidence. The fact you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. These lies keep people trapped, especially kids, partners, and the elderly. They suffer in silence because the world tells them it's not that bad. Some common phrases are,
"You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. That never happened. No one else would ever love you. You always ruin everything. You made me do this. You're crazy. If you really loved me, you would... That was just a joke. Can't you take one? You're lucky I even put up with you. It's not like I hit you."
But here's the truth. Abuse that breaks your mind can be just as deadly as abuse that breaks your body. So what hurts more? Here's the answer. It's not about which is worse. It's about recognizing that all abuse is real. All abuse is damaging, and none of it is okay.
I'd rather have been hit than called worthless every day. The emotional games stayed with me longer than the bruises. I lost myself, not because of fists, but because of words.
The danger isn't in comparing pain. The danger is ignoring pain that we can't see. If this hit close to home, you are not broken. You are not alone. And you do not have to carry this alone. Healing starts with recognition and continues with support, therapy, and self-compassion. Places to reach out. National Domestic Abuse Helpline in the UK is 08082000247. Samaritans can be reached at 116123. Childline for anyone under 19 is 08001111. You can also contact your GP, local mental health services, or trauma-informed therapists. Online survivor communities are available on Reddit, forums, and apps like Hear Me or BetterHelp. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become next. If you're hearing this right now and you've been through abuse, verbal, emotional, mental, or physical, I want you to know something incredibly important. You are not what they said about you. You are not what they did to you. You are not the brokenness they tried to leave you with. You are more than the trauma, more than the pain, more than the silence you were forced to sit in. Yes, you've been hurt, but hurt is not your identity, so healing is possible. Wholeness is real. Freedom is your right. Don't let the words of an abuser become the story you live by. Don't let fear or shame make decisions for your future. You are worthy of love, safety, peace, and joy. And if nobody's told you today you matter, you are enough, you are not alone. Take the first step, whether that's talking to a friend, reaching out for support, or just reminding yourself. This is not where my story ends. Let's stop measuring abuse by bruises. Let's start measuring it by impact. If someone makes you feel worthless, afraid, ashamed, or unsafe, that's abuse, and it's never your fault. So share this, talk about it, name it, because the more we bring it into the light, the less power it has to hide. Abuse thrives in silence. It survives in the shadows, and it grows stronger every time we pretend it's not that bad. But here's the truth. You can't heal what stays hidden. You can't fight what no one will name. So let's name it. That constant belittling, that's verbal abuse. That twisting of reality, making you question your mind, that's mental abuse. That silent treatment that leaves you begging for attention, that's emotional abuse. That fear you feel when they raise their hand or voice, that's physical abuse. Abuse doesn't have to leave bruises to be real, but it has to be seen to be stopped. Speak it, share it, shine a light on it. Because the more we bring abuse to light, the less power it has to control lives in the dark. You don't have to expose it alone, but you do have permission to say, "This is not okay. This happened to me, and I'm choosing to bring it into the light." Remember, you matter. You are loved. You're not alone. Bringing abuse to light doesn't just change one life. It changes generations. If this video helped you or someone you know, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let's create a space where healing begins with honesty, and where no one suffers in silence again.